To talk about some practice tips for this monster movement, Allegro molto vivace. This is a very fast piece, so playing from the beginning till the end takes a lot of energy. And then if it's like perpetual motions, your fingers are working hard, but if your fingers are working hard with too much of like muscle engagement here, your arm can really get tired. To avoid that, you want to really practice with awareness and scanning your arm and try to let go of any tension, both in your left shoulder and also in your hand here. Because the fingers are really busy here, you can kind of forget that you're getting tight in the middle of it, but try to let go of it and try to drop the fingers without really pressing it down, and also make the fingers comfortable. All the fingers comfortable when you're practicing slowly. Let's start from the beginning and I will walk you through in this slow practice method. There are so many double stops here, so you want to make sure that you're playing everything in tune. Listen really carefully and then compare with open strings and really listen for the resonance and also the overtone. So it was a little sharp. And then when you have shifts, see, I set it up with my elbow just a little bit in because this is fourth position from third position to make the pinky more comfortable. Like this, right? And then from here, see, these two fingers should be in the place that comes right after. And with the bow, you're gonna accent, just put the weight on. Your first finger should be down from right, with the pattern, it's always ready. And then here. You don't need to use the whole arm to string cross. This is a lot of work. Maybe use the wrist or just the fingers. Bite the finger, bite the string. Right? So intonation here, because it's from G string to E string, the distance between the G string and E string, 2 4 1 3 2 4 1 4, right? Like 2 octaves distance. Listen. See, my first finger was a little sharp. Right? Practice like this, and when you're going fast, so here, the next section, we have a big leap and we don't have time to set it up. It all happens really quickly. So the practice here is, so this is just a practice. You don't have time to calculate. You're just to practice this. Just getting it right. This is muscle memory. See, when you're playing A string, you're gonna go move really fast. Finger direction towards you. Bow goes after the finger is there. So the accent is always on the up bow. Lean on the bow. First finger leads the shift down and shift up. So first finger is always on the string, leading the fingers. See, my first finger moved down, half step down, and then here. So first finger never leaves the string. It just leads down, leads up. But it's important to know how much you're going down, half step or whole step. Half step, whole step, stay. Right, so and here, make sure that you're biting the string in the beginning, right? From the string, right? And then here, sit to shoot. So practice taking time first. See, the key here is always your left hand needs to move very fast. And your bow can take a little bit of time so your left hand is going to settle and then your bow goes just in tempo, right? So here, but then just a little bit of time taking is okay musically to play with security, right? So here, it takes time to shoot and then settle in third position for your left hand. So So here, try to bite. But when you're playing fast, you're not gonna have time to bite each string. So, but then when you practice, just make it clear. Here, shoot, and then settle. For this double stop, avoid playing too close to the bridge, just a little further away because it just needs a little more distance to ring for the double stop. Pizzicato, go a little deeper into the fingerboard with your index finger and then pluck it from a little further away towards you. And then intonation. Practice this. Take your time here and then so this part, sometimes fingers can get lost because it's perpetual motion and it has the pattern, but it's not always the same. So as I suggested in the previous movement, always practice with accent in less than 4 notes group. So in this case, it's just 4 notes together. So right? 4 notes accent, and then try to play fast without giving too much of an accent. This one, when the pinky is involved, it helps me to lean on the violin so that I'm like leveraging here to make the fingers freer. So here, what's the difference? This was 3rd position, which is, no, it's 2nd position, which is not too hard. Here, you're coming up to 5th position. So you really need to use this as a leverage and then just come in a little bit because we're coming to here as well. You don't want to be too down here, right? So set your hand in a comfortable position that you can reach everywhere without having to stretch because it's very fast. Every finger needs to be comfortable. And then here, again, accent. So in this section, it's important to have this melody in tune, right? And then these melodies in tune. So the problem is we're playing those back to back, G string, A string harmonics. So practice the transition. Then make sure that your left hand goes in time so that your bow doesn't go earlier than your left hand. For artificial harmonics, it's important to have the first finger down all the way and then fourth finger on the right note on the surface of the string, settled. So this section involves a lot of left hand pizzicatos. So here the way to practice is always make sure the second note is on the string, right? The left hand pizzicato. You want to always pluck it from the inside of the string like this, right? Pluck from the inside of the string, and then when you have double left hand pizzicato, like, make sure, see, this can be a little weak, the third finger. You can just pluck until here, you don't have to go all the way down because that's difficult. Pinky power, use that. And then now the bow and left hand combination. Okay. So practice slowly. Your bow is gonna just bounce off. But when it lands, lean on the string, just drop it without any control. Rest. So this part. And then because it ends with left hand pizzicato, you want to come to the frog, whatever bowing you're using. So here, intonation on G string is important, and then articulation when you come to the higher position on G string. So here, pinky, go down. And then you can help if you just come up just a little higher to make the pinky not too far away. Again, use the leverage here. Notice the distance. Practice this. It starts with pinky, so you need to set it down in the pattern when you're placing the pinky down. Always make sure your first finger is leading and then not leaving the string in shifts. To hold step, my first finger is getting ready on D sharp. One more time. tired again, because before this you had like really intense like left hand pizzicato session, and then here when you pizzicato, try not to move too much. Just try to stay here, because you would have to keep playing the G string melody in tune, right? Even E string. So this was the final movement, Allegro molto vivace. So I would recommend practicing slowly with really knowing the distance, and also your bow. You don't need to do the spiccato or staccato from the beginning. Just try to practice with legato, listening to the intonation, and also working on the left hand and right hand combination together slowly. So it needs a lot of awareness to play this, because when you're actually playing this in tempo, fast, non-stop, you don't have time to think. You just have to keep going. So you want to make sure that you're practicing enough to make the muscle memory just go, just keep going. So I'm sorry, there's no magic wand or like really easy way to practice like for an hour and then you're good to go. This kind of movement needs a little more effort and just like constant repetition until you really get it, and then you will notice your arm strength is better and you have more stamina over time of practicing. So you don't need to practice the whole thing through and through all the time. Just practice the sectionals, and the first section you practiced at the second section, and then practice first and second session, and then at the third session practice first, second, and third session, because it's always a transition that is important that you get used to it. And then each session has different challenges, so you can practice those in your etudes and really getting the finger strength there. And after that, you will just let go of the control and being able to just like really enjoy the movement. It's almost like your fingers are on the string, like gymnastic in Olympics. Like they were amazing, like on top of this platform. See, like fingers need to be on the right string, on the right time, on the right place, right? It's very difficult to play the violin accurately, and we are just setting it up. The fingers are the queens, and your thumb and your arm, your shoulders, everything else, your elbow, is helping to have the fingers to play with more ease, with more agility, with more independence, and with more support. So that's how you practice. When you practice slowly, always make sure all the fingers are just as comfortable as they can to be able to move without too much effort or control. So hope this was helpful. And if you haven't downloaded my free PDF, the 10 steps to happy and effective violin practice, download it below, because it really leads you to build more awareness around your body and your violin, so that when you're practicing, you have more awareness. It's not about just the technique, it's about the awareness that you can connect your notes and your fingers and your violin together, so that you're just collaborating together in harmony. We are not against violin, we're not against our body, we're not against our fingers or bow. It's not about control, it's about support and knowing, acknowledging, and really collaborating together. You will know what I mean if you download the PDF and receive the 5 email sequences from me explaining all the steps. So this is the free gift from me to you. If you are a passionate violinist and you want to get better, this is the first foundation, the holistic foundation that you can think of. Even if you are majoring and have been playing the violin professionally, this idea of holistic foundation is something that I actually recently found out and discovered and applied to my practice. Even after my doctorates, you don't have too much access to the teacher to ask questions. You're learning from your intuition, your awareness. So it's so important to build that no matter which stage you are in, to build that awareness. So when you have lack of support or system around you, you are using the resources in you, using the awareness in you. Everyone's body is different. Everyone's way of building the technique is different. You just need to know yourself better to be able to come up with a good foundation for yourself, your body, and from your learning background. So hope you get the most benefit out of it. Comment below with any questions or insight that you want to share with me, or anything that you want to see from my future video. I will get back to the questions or include the answers in one of the videos in the future. So in the meantime, happy practicing!